Since 2017, the Italian Wine Podcast has exploded and expects to hit 6 million listens by the end of July 2023. We're celebrating this success by recognizing those who have shared the journey with us and giving them the opportunity to contribute to the ongoing success of the shows. By buying a paper copy of the Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0 or making a donation to help the ongoing running costs, members of the international Italian wine community will be given the chance to nominate future guests and even enter a prize draw to have lunch with Stevie Kim and Professor Attilio Scienza. To find out more, visit us at italianwinepodcast.com. Chin chin!
Welcome to The Next Generation. I'm Victoria Cece. Join me as we chat with young Italian wine people shaking up the wine scene. We're going to geek out on a grape or grape fam, then hear about all the wild wine things our guests have been up to, from vineyard experiments to their favorite wine bars. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of The Next Generation. Today we are going to interview a very unique producer from a place that you would most likely never guess, a small, special area of Lazio, of northern Lazio in Viterbo. We are going into ancient Etruscan territory today, which I'm very, very excited for. But before that, we are going to dive into a grape varietal that you may not be able to guess from the description I just gave you, or from reading the title of this podcast, or the description of our interviewee. Why? Because the grape most likely isn't indigenous to this area. It's most likely indigenous to Italy, of course, being the Italian Wine Podcast. But it's fun to see this grape grown in a different place. And here's another hint about the grape we're going to be talking about. This grape actually has unknown origins. So it could be from this little piece of northern Lazio. Who knows? Can you guess the grape? Its name is Vermentino. Yes, Vermentino, which is mainly grown in Sardinia, Tuscany, and Liguria. And apparently it is also grown in northern Lazio, in Viterbo. So, diving into the facts from our Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0 book, we don't know where Vermentino comes from. And here's a little plot twist. It could have come from Spain. Some think Italy, some think Spain. We'll leave that up to those who are studying the history of this lovely, lovely grape. So, although Vermentino and its synonyms Pigatto and Favorita are genetically synonymous, they are listed as three separate varieties given that they all look and behave differently. So, as you know, Vermentino is the name for the grape mostly in Sardinia and Tuscany, but it's also known as Favorita in Piedmont or Pigatto in Liguria. And all of these biotypes are grown best on poor and fertile soils with sunny exposures. They're vigorous and reliable. So I don't know if you've ever seen a Vermentino cluster. They're pretty massive, pretty hefty, like 2 hands hefty. They can be, depending on where they're grown. And they also perform well in dry climates and have a good tolerance for wind, but they can suffer from moths, just like our clothes. Bad joke. As well as rot and downy mildew. So when we dive into the glass of Vermentino, we're going to see a pale lemon with musky aromas and notes of fresh citrus, tropical fruit, peach, acacia, and saline undertones on the palate. You see that a lot in the Sardinian Vermentinos for sure, especially in the DOCG Vermentino di Gallura. Also, sometimes Vermentino can have like a hint of rosemary or thyme, these like nice herbaceous notes, and they're fresh, medium-bodied with crisp acidity. Again, those little saline notes on the finish. It's a sea grape, okay? Moving on, lots of different styles when it comes to Vermentino. Mostly dry and still, but also sparkling. You can find late harvest and passito. Lees stirring and oak aging is used sometimes to contribute to more texture and richness. So this gives you a nice full spectrum when it comes to Vermentino. A couple examples are that like Vermentino from Sardinia can range from light and fresh to structured and alcoholic. It can get hot, you know. Granted, it can also thrive in dry environments. So if you're seeing crazy temperatures, like Pigatto is typically fuller bodied with a creamier texture. So we're now going to Liguria with Pigatto. So there's some facts about Vermentino for you. And now let's move into our interview with someone who makes a Vermentino wine, but not one you've seen before.
Okay, hello everybody. We are here at Vinitaly and we are sitting with Marco of Muscari Tomajoli. Ciao Marco.
Ciao everyone.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit and have a little interview. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your winery.
Okay, I'm the owner of this young company. The winery was born in 2007. It's a very little winery and conducted by three young person. Me is the person of the family who continues this project, and then we have two friends of mine who works for me and help me in every works in the winery. And we want to make a very low production. Three line. We make just 7,000 bottles for years. We work in very low production and focused on quality. Yes, this is our overview of the company.
Amazing. And so before we dive into more about the winery, tell me a little bit more about you. Like, what's your story?
I meet the wine at 20 years old because I gone to university in 2007. My father was very passionate person by the wine who have very experience in France with a lot of winery because he's make another job, but he had very passion for the wine. Then in 2007 he starts the company. I'm very young at the time and I'm studying. Then year by year I fall in love with this world because step by step I every year focus on this company. I start with a sommelier course after the study, and then step by step I make every job in the winery. Then in 2014 I needed to continue this project because my father was ill, and then the project needed one person to continue, and I take everything of this project, and now I'm here to continue this adventure.
So you're putting your heart and soul into it. This is your baby, essentially.
Yeah. Yes.
So just for the listeners, can you tell us where your winery is based?
We are based on Tarquinia. It's a very small city in the north of Lazio. We are very near the Tuscany line in the northern part of the Lazio, but we are in Tuscia. Tuscia is a very modern area. It's a typical area in the north of Rome. Now they are burning a lot of new winery, and it's a very live. This is a very little city, known for the Etruscan history. Mm-hmm. Then we had we represented. We have a collaboration with a painter, a local painter. His name is Guido Sileoni, who make it everyone our label, and represented the true painting in Etruscan tones.
Are you enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to visit our YouTube channel, Mama Jumbo Shrimp, for fascinating videos covering Stevie Kim and her travels across Italy and beyond, meeting winemakers, eating local food, and taking in the scenery. Now back to the show.
Yeah, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. I absolutely love this one, the Velka. So what does Velka mean?
Belka was a very a real Etruscan woman. She's name is Velia Spurina, and it's a real woman, a real exists in the past, and remaining our she's represented in a famous tomb in Tarquinia, the tomb of the Orc, and the painter decided to make our rosé with for the woman is just like.
No, it's absolutely beautiful. And I want to go back to talking about where your winery is based. I think what's really special, and obviously, as I was saying before, I'm passionate about, is Lazio as a region. Everyone knows Rome, right? All the tourists go to Rome, but there is such a rich history in these small towns just outside of Rome, whether you go north, south, or east. And so it's really wonderful to sit with you and talk about these places, and if you want to share anything else about where you're from, because I think I want to encourage more people to venture out and just see, because most people don't think Etruscan when they think Lazio, because they're like, it's Roman land, you know what I mean? But if you go north and you're getting closer to Umbria and Tuscany, then you have this rich history. If you want to talk a little bit more about where you're from and what it was like growing up there, or did you grow up there?
I'm going up. Yeah, I'm born in Tarquinia. Mm-hmm. My family, half part of my family was born in Tarquinia. My father was born in Grosseto in Tuscany, but he moved very young to Tarquinia. But Tarquinia has a very very old history, because the Etruscan history is older than the Roman history. Then now a lot of people coming to discover these list of cities, and it's very very interesting place.
You can have a whole podcast on just the Etruscan and the history there. I know it's a big one. But just to change up the conversation a little bit, as everyone knows, this is the next generation. And we want to know, what do you, of course, you're very serious. You have your winery, you're dedicated. But what do you like to do for fun? Like if someone was to come visit you, what would you guys do? Are there any wine bars you love? Anything? You could be as honest as you like.
I like to travel because, the wine, the linked to the place, to the territory, and or food. Mm-hmm. Yes, is the wine give me the keys to know a lot of place and the history of the tradition of the custom of this place. Then travel was one of my. I have no more time, but when it's possible. Yes.
Where was the last place you traveled to?
In Italy, the last, because I don't have time to going too far.
Mm-hmm. And don't say Verona.
Don't say Verona. No, not Verona. But I find it to discover little cities undiscovered in Italy.
Are there any local dishes from your area that you love and you can pair with your wines? Anything like that?
Our traditional dishes coming for the agriculture culture, they are very poor and based on vegetables. In our one of these is our aquacotta. It's like our in Tuscany the ribollita is like similar. Is a lot of vegetables. What is possible to find in the field, and yes, I think it's linked with our Belka, and because it's too fresh and a lot of stability. Yes, I think it's very good compared.
Yeah, especially with all the amazing vegetables that are grown. I can imagine there, and with spring coming, and then you can have the rosé, the rosato.
Yes.
It's all the happy things. Well, is there anything else you'd like to add, Marco, before we say ciao?
Ciao.
Ciao. He's kicking me out, everyone. Goodbye. Well, thank you so much, Marco, for taking the time. And I wish you the best of luck in everything you're doing and a great time at Vinitaly.
Thank you.
As always, a big grazie for hanging out with me today. Remember, you can catch me every Sunday on the Italian Wine Podcast, available anywhere you can get your pods.